Hi everybody. We are on The Snake That Never Sheds. She Will Be Heard, a memoir by Leilani Madden. We are on chapter 4, Back to School. The next year at school, they transferred me because of overcrowding. It wasn't too bad because I already knew a couple of kids from summer school already. Third grade was actually really fun. I always loved school because I wasn't scared. I became somewhat of a warrior fighting other people's battles. Other people, specifically my sisters. Father made it quite clear that if anyone messed with my siblings, it was our duty to intervene. Intervening for my sisters is really how I got into almost every fight I was ever in, or defending those less capable. I knew how to throw a mean punch after so many years of having my parents throw them at me. Eventually, I got into trouble and even kicked off of the bus. Even though I was only doing what my father had asked and was defending my sisters, I received one of the beatings that almost killed me. Either way, at that time, I wish it had. The phone call from the school was short. I could tell by the look on mother's face, it wasn't a good one. She hung up the phone and exploded. What the fuck? How are we supposed to get you to school? I can't believe you got kicked off the bus. When Father heard that, he simultaneously put down the funny pages and stopped watching TV. You little shit, what have you done now? Mother. She beat up 2 little girls. My sister TA tried to tell them what had happened, that the girls were actually picking on her to begin with, that I had begged them to leave her alone and they wouldn't. TA was crying hysterically. Mother and Father told her to shut up unless she wanted to get it too. She grabbed MC and ran upstairs to their room, both of them sobbing all the way. Mother kept punching and kicking me. She took my head into her hand and slammed it into the living room wall. She ended up straddling my chest, strangling me. Father finally pulled her off. I thought he was going to stop her until I noticed the belt in his hand. He pulled my pants off and vocalized his famous words. This hurts me more than it hurts you. If you keep crying, you'll get it more. He didn't stop until there was skin on his belt buckle and blood on the carpet. Mother and Father made arrangements with our neighbor's relatives who lived next to the school to take my sister, TA, and myself before and after school. It was actually a really nice break from us staying alone all the time. She was a sweet old lady and always made us breakfast and fresh cookies. We even called her Grandma. She was different. She was the real thing. She really took care of us. Back at school the next day was not so easy. I couldn't sit down, so I told my teacher I had slipped and fallen down the stairs and hurt my back. This became a common injury. I was in for a real treat that day. We got to watch funny movies with people dressed up in bear costumes. They were about abuse. You know, good touch, bad touch, and another on physical abuse. I couldn't take it and I ran out of the room crying. I was in one of the bathroom stalls when three of my friends came in, LP, AM, and KR. They were asking what was wrong and told me the teacher had sent them to check in on me. One of them tried to give me a hug. I jumped away when she touched my back. I made them all promise if I showed them something they would never tell anyone. I lifted my top, turned around, and exposed the lashes. Dripping with dry blood. Their faces turned white and each of them began to cry. I explained what had happened and they all swore they would never tell. After, life went on as usual. Normal beatings for bad grades or not having the house clean enough. Mother's normal suicide attempts with the butcher knife at her throat or wrist. Normal visits to the grandparents, receiving normal special attention from Grandpa. Thank you. I'll see you on Wednesday for the coloring cleanse. Have a great night.